that's why I got my stuff to make my school project. It's not that big of a deal. It is. I'm glad that you made this small out of the situation. Okay. I think that's her now. Jaden, mama said don't text and drive. Got this. Jaden!
When was the last time you were driving and you got a text message? Was it today, on your way to work, on your way to school, on your way to the grocery store, or was it yesterday on your way to a friend's house? When you receive a text message, it diverts your attention away from the road and you're driving. Whether it's a traffic light, while you're stopped or while cruising down the road, in that split second that it takes you to look down at your phone and respond to a text message, you are more likely to be involved in a car accident because you become distracted. Now, just imagine if you're driving down the road on the way to the store, and you get a text message from your friend, your mom, your dad. You check the traffic before you respond to the message. There's a smooth flow. The text message could read something like, "Hey, what you doing? You want to go out to eat?" You continue to drive, and then you begin to respond to the text message. And you say, "Nothing, headed to the store." And all of a sudden you look up, and there's a sudden stop of traffic, but it's too late to stop. You smash into the vehicle right in front of you. And basically you just got in an accident. Oh my God. Because you were just distracted for just that one moment. Texting and driving is it's dangerous all the way around, guys. It's evolved into a major problem, and it's occurring everywhere over the years. And the best, most affordable solution to me for texting while driving is to simply just to prevent it in the first place. Just don't respond. As well as you can provide tools to maybe to reduce the need to physically distract you or divert your attention away from the road and driving. Because driving is not just physical, it's mental as well. And it takes a second for your mind to be here and then to divert to something else. And in that moment, you could cause a wreck to end someone's life or possibly even yours just by the distraction of trying to respond back to a text message. So according to the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, about 9,000 people have died from a car crash from texting and driving within the past 5 years. About 1 million people have been injured from texting and driving within the past 5 years. It's a problem for people of all ages because it's illegal. The rate of accidents and injuries resulting from the rising of texting and driving, and they're becoming more of a factor in everyday life. Texting and driving is banned in about 44 states in the U.S., including the District of Columbia. The law was mostly passed not to make it unfair for people who enjoy texting, but to make it safe for all drivers on the road. Texting while driving hands-on is dangerous, and it's a major distraction, and it can basically lead to accidents. There's also many other distractions. It's not just texting and driving, but today's society, we're so glued to our phones that it's just a part of us. It's a part of us, and that's just our normal reaction to respond when someone texts us. But there's other distractions, like, if you answer the phone, multitasking, having loud music up, reading directions, emotional stress. They're all distractions. Texting, they're all distractions while you're driving. All of this basically just takes away from the driver's focus to drive. Texting while driving, it does require you to occasionally glance at your phone, keep one hand on the wheel, which is a dangerous combination. to be honest, the only way I can describe it is to drive with 2 feet, like you're driving with 2 feet. If anyone you ever tried that's really hard to do, and you can kill yourself doing that. But according to an article that was taken from textingwhiledriving.org by Leslie Pinkson, it states, texting while driving takes away 3 critical things needed for safe driving: your hands, your eyes, and your concentration. When you drive and text, you run a high risk of getting into an accident. And this is textingwhiledriving.org. She argues that the 3 components of safe driving are taken away when texting and driving. Is basically your hands, your eyes, and your concentration. And I can definitely agree with her, because taking away all these 3 things of aspects of driving, these are what makes texting and while driving so dangerous, and it's such a major distraction, which results in unsafe driving and an increase in accidents. I think one of the solutions on the issue could be just to kind of install something, maybe a compartment that one has to put their phone in. Could be to be able to start the car. Kind of like people like that get DWIs, too many DWIs sometimes, and they have to blow into a device in their car in order to start it up, just so they, to know that they're not intoxicated. So I definitely agree with her. On the next thing, studies do show that drivers who retrieve or send text messages are 4 times more likely to be in an accident serious enough to injure themselves. So these are numerous accident reports. Some are fatal, more fatal than others. That report can cause accidents by the means of texting. According to the AAA Auto Insurance, about 50% of the teenage drivers admit to texting while driving. Also, according to the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, about 5,800 people died in car accidents, and about 515 people were injured. So that's about 28% of all accidents from 2010 that were caused by drivers between the ages of 18 and 29 that were texting and driving. That's a high number, y'all. So these statistics are definitely alarming, as the number of people who are texting while driving continues to grow every day. With the increase of drivers who text, more accidents are likely to occur. Although people think that they haven't made without getting into an accident, they don't really realize that they are not the only ones that are texting and driving. A person could easily back out the garage and could hit someone at a minimal speed, but the cause can still be texting and driving. So the solution to this problem could be as easy as just put the phone up, lock it in a compartment, so the driver is not tempted. I think just we are all addicted to our phone, and that just drives the bad behavior. Because to be honest, I've done it, and my kids have had to correct me several times. So that's what I do. I just put my phone in my purse so that I'm not even distracted, because if my phone is laying on my lap, it is just automatic that I want to pick it up and look at it, or if somebody texts, I want to respond back immediately. So that it's a psychological mechanism where people deny the fact that it can be dangerous, and it can. So texting and driving is a problem for people of all ages. I just think that it should be illegal. It is illegal. You can kill and you can really hurt people. But breaking the law is not good for anyone. Distractions are presented at any given time, but no one can choose not to distract themselves with electronics to prevent any accidents. So just don't be another statistic when it comes to texting and driving. Texting and driving can actually mean the difference between life and death. So choose life and just put your phone away.